decision. If you have a soft dog, you just deflated them. If you have a high dog, they're not listening to you anymore because you didn't act like you owned it. Right? So if I'm dealing with him, see if I can.
So decide before you start your run what you're going to do.
Decide on what you're going to do, first of all.
And do it quickly.
So I'm going to run him, see if I'll run him so that I can stop him. Because I want to show you how quick I can get that attention of what he's doing. Now this is dealing with a totally different dog than her. He stresses super high, he does not stress low. Yes, I haven't worked with dog walk in months. So if he comes off, actually maybe I'll call him because he might come off now. Is that fun?
Darn uncooperative demo dogs.
Try doing it with the same sequence, see if I get them messed up. So my cue is no. So if I were to run him, he wouldn't stop. My initial connection, no. So even if he goes in that tunnel, he knew he was wrong before he goes in the tunnel.
So you're not asking to sit her down, you're just saying that to her.
Yeah.
That's marking that you're marking.
So once I get that no, down. But the down, because of him, makes him higher and fixates. So my connection to him is to jump it back. It's actually easier to show him on weak pulls because he's not as strong on weak pulls. I put a lot of work in stopping my contacts, so he's quite good at those. So if I get him stalking, so he's in down. Down. See that? Okay. So nobody's home right now. Right? Down. Down. Okay, so he's like in that mood. So if I need to try it again, I have to get him out of that space. So if he missed his contact, I'm just going to walk a distance with him and watch what he does. How many obstacles does he stand? Like all of them, right? So in a trial situation, all of that would have led to even higher behavior. So if I came back, that's what I did off my dog walk. Dog walk's really long, right?
Yeah.
So the dog misses it and you start to go all the way back. How many different things did he look at? Everything in the building he just realized. So if I don't get out of that stalking headset back here, I'm going to get the exact same performance, except this time he's higher. Because the walk back has created the high. Just like the walk back for her, I'm not going to do it to her because I don't want to reinforce that. But the walk back for her can completely shut her down. So with him, I have to be engaged. Boy.
So would you run back and be happy, like,
No, because then I get bit.
not back?
See how his eyes now aren't locked? Yeah. Look how soft his eyes are. Do that again. Yes. I agree. Lunch with some. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Good. Taking that glance. Big difference from walking him where he's doing this the whole time, right? Okay, so his eyes for him, his eyes represent his arousal. As soon as they lock, or he's like, he'll look. You know the difference when you see the dogs? Yeah. He's kind of like that on the start line. And you walk out and the dogs are like staring, and they'll look at the handlers, but all they do is this. Right? They're not, their eyes aren't soft, so they're not with you. So if you release at that point, you're not releasing in control. Right? Same thing when you go back to do a contact. If you don't have the dog's eyes with you, with her it's barking. Notice I wait every time until she starts barking. She's not barking, she's not excited. It's just her personal trigger. With him, it's his eyes. If he's not being able to softly look at me, where I ask him to look at me, he goes, huh? Not, you're bothering me, stop it. I'm looking at the tunnel, you're interrupting my tunnel. Right? So if he's looking at me in annoyance, or if he's looking at me in like, what do you want me to do? Totally different dog.
Okay, so if you recapture, if I
Yeah.
understand correctly, like Gail said, so Rain didn't do her target.
Yeah.
So she would call her back, walk,
Reconnect.
Say no first and go back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And say whatever you're not rewarding.
and then do it again,
Yeah.
and thinking positively.
Yeah.
She would do this, she would do it, and then would she continue the course or just leave it?
It's up to you and what, like, how much time you have. I would go on. Right? I don't see leaving the ring
So
as,
it'd be the same thing on the apron.
yeah,
So
if it's fair. My big concern with people punishing contacts, guys, is most of the time we haven't done the foundation. The dogs don't really understand how to do what we're asked. So you can see there with him, he really knows how to control his body into a stop, especially after I let him run. Right? You can see how hard physically he's having to work. Most dogs don't have that control to be able to stop. So when they get to that position, sure they can stop when there's not that arousal, but they go at a different speed. When they go at a different distraction level. So if it's the distraction level that's causing them to miss the bottom, you can fix that with your voice, right?
So,
A lot of times.
so coming back like what Holly's question a while ago, that's what I had with that, same thing.
Yeah.
If I had 5 jumps coming out of the tunnel, she's coming full speed,
Yes.
and then there's the A-frame,
Yes.
okay? And I asked her exactly the same thing as the dog walk, a touch,
Yes.
and she's coming super
Yeah.
fast with the
So
apex.
part of that is to create the dog's understanding of the apex. So you're going to have to
Yeah.
teach the dog to
But
sit
at
back.
that time in the trial,
Yes.
let's say, like I said, I'm gonna work and do all the exercises, but if, so that would say to me she's not ready yet, or
Yeah.
she still needs training.
Yeah.
But again, in that situation, would you do the A-frame again? So she wouldn't off the A-frame or jumped, would I put her again?
Yeah, because if you put her again, she's not going to have the same speed, so she's probably going to get it. So
Yes,
yes.
exactly.
I don't like to set them up for failure.
Yeah.
When I redo anything with my dogs, typically I don't expect them to make the same mistake again because now I'm taking the speed up. So I did that with him. His first trial that I did, stopped 2 on 2 off frame after doing almost a year of running frames. He didn't stop. He slowed down, and then he hit the ground and he wanted to go. I knew that, so I actually planned to redo the frame in my course because I knew there's a good chance he's not going to hold. So I was prepared to stop him, to reconnect, to bring him up onto me. I had him jump up onto me. I started him a little closer to the frame because this was me saying, you know what, I really haven't been that fair because I taught him the frame at a lower height 2 days ago and now I'm competing with it, right? So I gave him less speed for him to figure it out, but I could also tell the first time he was trying. He was trying to stop and he didn't know how. And then he figured it out, but he's got the base of the dog walk stuff to help him. So he does understand that with an angle on a frame, it is very different. So they really, basically it's the dog walk times 10 as far as how well they have to have those skills. It's harder for them to get up at a bad angle. It's harder for them to stop if they're off balance. It's easier for them to go off balance, right? And if they look up, there's no way that they can balance themselves back. And if they come on front end, the dog walk, they've got 12 feet to fix it. They come over the apex of the frame. How much time do they have to fix that? They're on their front end. They've got no time to sit back, right? So all the challenges that you do on a dog walk really have to, you want to make sure that those are strong for the frame because that's a definition for it as well. I can show you one that I want.
And the A-frame, when you come back, you don't have that much.
So good, you made him stop finally. Okay, good. So I'm stopping his eyes. See what he wants to try again on I see his back feet leave and then come back on, front brake. So he came over with more power than he knew what to deal with. He doesn't do that nearly as much on the dog walk as he does on the frame because he recognizes on the dog walk he's got more room to slow down.
So a stride regulator, would you
Yeah.
do that? You would.
Yeah, so I can put a stride leg regulator near the top.
Okay.
Fair to you, you haven't done many. He's done running a lot of money. So. Yeah, so that would help with that, but the A-frame does take a little bit more just to get them to sit back.
So my question is, what the parents would like to say is that if you can try to put them back.
Yeah, put them back, take away the speed. So put them, notice I'm not, well here I'm going a little further away. Start them 3 feet away. So you take the speed off. If you need to slow your body down, you can, but then make a note of that, you know what, this is happening and I need to work on my frame, the angles.
Yeah, and then we just
Yeah.
continue.
Okay? But so it's how you go back and repeat. Typically I will go back and repeat. Very rarely do I let my dogs run past anything that went wrong. Right? Because when I'm doing that, unless I really made a mistake and I like got lost and sent them to the tunnel, right? If they miscue off of some of my handling, I will usually always stop. Because I don't want them thinking that, you know, if I'm in position, if I say come into this end of the tunnel, right? If I'm coming from here, in tunnel. Right? If I say take this end, you don't get to go in that end and I'm just going to ignore it. Right? Now if I like tunnel in, tunnel in, right? I said it when he was in the wrong end of the tunnel. I really would like you to fix that. Come here and fix that. Come here and fix that.
So,
Because that's a skill I do have, and I don't really want to weaken that. Don't really want to break that skill on me. So.
No.
Alright, so you will fix it, but then make sure that you're taking the steps necessary in practice to put strength on it. Okay? Alright, anybody have? Oh,